Okay. All right. Hey y'all, happy Sunday. Hello, what's up y'all? Hey, hey, hey. Happy Sunday. Let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro Zen. And today I'm reading for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, 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 flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is in the description box below or in my bio, okay? Also, don't forget to grab your copy of this book here. It's called Wisdom Beyond Wounds, which was created by me, for me, and others as well, amongst the collective here who may have went through a lot of some really harsh realities or experiences surrounding narcissism. So I actually created a shadow book to help to break it down and to dive deeper into the many different characteristics and aspects surrounding narcissism here. Okay, so this book is readily available for purchase on Amazon.com. The price of the book is $25. Okay, thank you so much for your immense support. Again, if you're still wanting to be a part of the podcast, you can, like I've been mentioning, I've been posting all over my social media outlets. So please make sure that you're following me so that way you can stay abreast as to what I'm posting or being updated with. Also, if you're wanting to get into the Wisdom Beyond Wounds group, that group was created on Facebook. So if you're wanting to dive deeper into your healing surrounding narcissism here, then that group will be beneficial for you in a very positive way. Okay. So let's get that out the way. Let's get into this read. Channel message here is they are a pawn in their own game. So basically they kind of checkmate themselves, basically is what I'm saying here. Okay. Hello, everybody. Where's my manners? How y'all doing on this good Sunday? Hey, TikTok. Hey, TikTok. Hey, Instagram, Facebook, and hey, YouTube. Okay. They're a pawn in their own game. So I'm going to break this down because these individuals here are really down on their luck here. And they're now realizing that despite them creating this game that was specifically supposed to be for you here, at the end of it all here, since they created the game for themselves, now they're stuck in that said same game that they have built or created for other people. They're stuck in that game and it's checkmate for them. Okay. So when a narcissistic person becomes a pawn in their own game, the very tactics that they used to or utilize to control others begin to backfire on them in many different ways. They end up tangled. They end up tangled in the lies, the manipulation, and the illusions that they have created amongst themselves towards other people here. So instead of them being the mastermind of their so-called game or craft here, they end up getting trapped in the same web of deceit and paranoia that they wanted for other people here. Okay, so some examples of that would be losing control. Okay, they they tend to craft narratives to they tend to create false narratives to keep themselves hidden, to keep themselves safe, okay? But once that narrative collapsed and they realize that they can't manipulate others anymore, the outcome is not what they used to be, so they become the pawn in this instance here. Another example would be is that they actually end up exposing themselves, okay? And they expose themselves in a way that when they play these games, when they play the game to manipulate others here, or trick, it begins to highlight their actual actions behind the actual game that they have created for other people here. So that game that they created begins to highlight their contradictions and their own flaws. Okay. The next one is that they're facing a reversal. Okay. People that underestimate it starts to see through them. Okay. And instead of them being the chess master, again, they were never playing chess, they were playing checkers. Okay. But since people can see past them here and they no longer have that perspective that people see them as a chess master here, they're treated as very disposable, expendable, or even laughable. And y'all know how I feel when you get in a good laugh, you know? And also another example of them being a pawn in their own game here is that they have some form of an emotional implosion. Okay, so because their entire identity hinges on being in control, it's now being reduced to a pawn, which to them feels like they're being annihilated or destroyed. So it brings forth some form of them sparking a rage towards themselves, despair, or complete withdrawal. So it's really it's a complete irony in regards to what they have created for themselves and other people here. So with that being said, they do feel like that they're a pawn in the game, and they feel like that their back is against the wall here, and they feel like that there's no way out of this here, which is why it's building a lot of evidence surrounding the repercussions that they decided to take upon themselves here. There's repercussions here. Not only that as well too, right? Their actions is now starting to go viral. So you want to take that how that resonates. It could be actual viral like on social media, or it could just be viral and more so their immediate circle here, or the people that they thought that they could come together, congregate together to come against you in a very negative way here. Those individuals are seeing them for the filth that they are here, and they don't want any parts of that. It's too many overwhelming and damning evidence surrounding this person actually becoming a pawn in their own game. So take it how it resonates, okay? Please keep in mind that this is a collective read. Not everything that I mentioned to you is going to resonate, okay? So take what resonates and leave the rest. So with that being said, in regards to them being a pawn in their game, we'll just highlight the toxic connections that you were connected to at one point in time here. Every person that have been involved in this thing here, they're all for the bigger, we'll say the bigger plots or the bigger plan or the bigger game here. They're all considered to be pawns. And in some instance here, these individuals are now trying to reverse their steps, or they're trying to revert the pawn or the pieces in the game, so that way people won't see them as guilty, okay? But they're very guilty in regards to what they're doing here. So they don't want to go down for the repercussions for what they've done, but again, it's too many overwhelming damning evidence for them to be able to escape this or for them to reverse this here. So this is why they feel very derailed. Okay, the same tactics that they use is the same tactics that literally led to their downfall, their physical downfall, their emotional downfall, their mental downfall, their financial downfall, their psychological downfall here. Okay, we do have the sun here. So the sun can represent in this nature here that things are now opening up for people to see it in the way it needs to be seen, or it could be an actual Leo sign, or it could be a father figure. So take that how that resonates, because the sun represents the father and the moon represents the mother. Okay, so it could also, I could also interpret it in this way, that they're burning in fear, or they're burning, or they're seething in rage because people see them for what they are, the pawn in their own game. You can't create a game and don't have instructions to the game that you created. You can't create a game and there's no directions, there's no anything to determine how the game is played. That's where they messed up at. That's where they had all the holes at. That's where they left the door open for other people to see what type of game that they were playing. And to be honest here, they went out of the game. They want this game to stop. They don't want to play this game anymore. Can you make this make sense? They don't even know how to get out of their own game. They don't even have the recipe. They don't have an emergency button. They don't have any backup plans. They don't have anything to get them out of this game here. And they were tested and they failed. So they have no choice but to assume positions surrounding the accountability that they're being pushed or forced to take. We're in a new era now. It's the age of Aquarius. We're not an age of a Pisces anymore, age of Aquarius. So the idea of people not being aware or don't have the knowledge or the insight or the intel or the info here, yeah, there's no more excuses surrounding that. Oh, I didn't know, I didn't know. They knew. They knew. They just thought that they would not have gotten caught. That's why they kept being tested in so many ways here, and they failed every test that they created for self. So they were like, okay, y'all remember the Scantrons? Remember the Scantrons, right? In school, where we had to use a number 2 pencil, specifically a number 2 pencil, to ensure that we circle or bubble in the answer correctly. And in some instance here, if you circle it too hard, too heavy, or too dark, and you try to erase it, and then you try to put the Scantron through the machine here, the machine actually won't be able to read it here. So in some cases there are a few options in regards to fixing that actual Scantron here. One of many options here is that you get an eraser and really try to erase it as much as you can, so that way the machine doesn't pick up in regards to like you changing your answer or altering or shifting the answer from the Scantron, right? Or another option would be to actually fill out a whole new Scantron here, so that way when it's time to put it through the machine will be able to pick it up here. Again, these are the type of individuals, narcissistic individuals here. Then I feel like they're really poor in planning here. They're really, really poor in planning, again, because the reason why, yes, thank you, domino effect, yes. They are the one that created a huge domino effect in this group setting here, family group, friend group, whatever, however resonates, social, toxic social connection group here, however resonates for you. But that one person who was the creator or the originator of all this foolishness or hoopla here, they're the one that caused a domino effect within the group here. And also it created some form of an internal investigation, not only surrounding the, police and things of that nature, but more so towards the players that were actually in the group as well too. So they utilized everyone that they could to ensure that they were the grand Pumbaa of chess, or the chess master of it all. And they were never playing chess, as I mentioned before. They were always playing checkers here. But you come in here in regards to the missing piece here. Okay, you were the one that actually called checkmate on them, and they didn't know that you knew how to play chess or know how to play their game, if that makes sense. You beat them because you were very logical instead of emotional. They're very emotional. They're not logical. They're not, because if they were logical, we wouldn't be here right now. We would not be here right now. So it's a big difference between being logical and being emotional. And they're very emotional, which is why they tend to project their emotions onto others here, i.e. you here, so that way you can also emulate or mimic the emotions that they're truly feeling inside here. But once you realize that all they have to offer is, let's say, a meltdown of emotions here, you realize that you need to change or shift the perspective of this, and you started to use the logistics, or more so becoming more logical in regards to who you are here. So you being logical, missing piece, you see the light bulb here? You beat them at their own game, and it's making them sick. Sick, I tell you. Everybody is upset. They're infuriated. They're angry. How could you do this to us? We trusted you. This is how the group is feeling towards that one initial person that started this foolishness. They're so irate and so upset at the person here because they lost everything. They have unwanted eyes on them. People are seeing what's going on. It's like a disperse. You turn on the lights and you see like roaches kind of like dispersing in that kind of way here. And everyone is trying to find a safe space or a safe haven here so that way they can stay underneath the radar, and they can't. Even despite them attempting to stay underneath the radar, it makes them look even more guilty. Now you understand when I say when people say and do certain things towards you and you know it's not true, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. But still speak your truth. Because yet again, if they were speaking truth, then they shouldn't be up in arms, or their arms should be flailing back and forth if they were speaking truth. So they really put their foot in their own mouth, or the hole that they dig for you, now they're falling into that same hole. Checkmate. They don't want this to go viral at all, but it is going viral. It's going viral within the group setting, and it's going viral on, again, social media here. And that there, they can't handle that. They're not going to be able to handle that at all. It's say no. Nope. Their intentions, or their negative intentions comes with, let's get you out of here. The negative intentions that they had here is no longer working for them. It's working against them. Anything that they do, they look even more guilty, and that bothers them. They're so bothersome by what they've done. Finally, we're seeing progress towards their inner turmoil. Man, this is so funny. This is a southbound express train to Carmigville. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Ping pong. Oh, man. Oh, okay, be focused. Okay, sanctioned is here. They're being investigated very thoroughly with a fine teeth comb. They are, and they know this here. They know. They're trying to see if we'll say connections that they once had, they're trying to see if they can utilize them again to get them out of the situation. And they're like, nah, we can't. This is too heavy. It's too much eyes on them. It's bringing forth a lot of attention. And they well, what am I supposed to do? And well, it's like kind of like figure it out on your own. And they can't figure it out on their own because they never thought they would be in this position. They did not have a pamphlet. They did not have an emergency route or exit. They did not, because they just knew 100%, 1,000,000% sure that this was always going to work out in the way that they anticipated. For other people, yeah. Some people actually passed away and died because of their foolish games. But yet again, as I mentioned to you guys, y'all not here to play nobody's game at all. If anything, you're here to destroy people's games that they try to place you in. You're not here to play anybody's game. And they are very fearful of that, fearful of you. The same people that was turned against you now is the same people that want to come back and extend an olive branch. No, take a lighter to that olive branch and throw that olive branch in the trash. Kick it to the side. You can you punt that MF. Why are you bringing an olive branch towards the collective? We don't want that. Put it in your fireplace. Take your knee and snap it. They got many ways. So we have speak up here. All they can do is just watch you just speak, and they can't do anything about it. They're frozen in time, or they feel like that they can't get to words you hear because you're speaking too much here. Yeah, people like, yeah, you a freaking liar. They even went as far as trying to get people to come towards you to befriend you here. And I don't think that's a good look for them too, because the people that they're trying to get them to befriend you, you're even exposing their secrets unknowingly or knowingly. So the people that are coming towards you here who think that they're in the dark because you don't know them, you have been divulging their secret. And they're like, well, hold on, wait. How does the collective know this about me? I thought you said this was foolproof. I thought you said that this was safe to do, and they're learning it's not. Stay out the collective's energy, karmic. Stay out of it. Boom, confirmation. Yeah, you got receipts, boo, energetically. Energetically, you got receipts. Physically, you got receipts here. Just watch them. Just stand on the side. You know how some people, I'll use New York for an example. There are certain parts of New York, like Manhattan, right, or Brooklyn, where you can actually go to a park and you can actually see people playing chess, right? And you become a bystander as you're watching them play chess. But some cases, or in some cases here, the game becomes very, we'll say, intense, where you tend to be so intrigued by it that you're watching it in a very intense way here. This game that they have created here, so they're in the hot seat. There's two players that you need to play chess. They're in the hot seat here, and you are the bystander here, and you're just watching them. The timer is going, and they can't hit the time. They're sweating. They're trying to figure out, okay, I can't go here. Okay, I can't make this move. Okay, no, if I do this, I'm gonna lose the game. If I do it this way, every corner or every move that they want to take moving forward, they're going to lose. It's going to be a complete game over here. They derailed their life. They did. Humanity is here, and everyone else is seeing too. Not only you, but everyone else. I mean, they wanted to play a game on a world stage, right? Huh? They wanted to play a game on the world stage, right? Okay, well, their wish was their command. So since they want to play this where everyone else is to see, they're the one that brought the entourage of dumb cunts towards you here to watch you fall. That same arena. They gather a lot of people to sit in this amphitheater to watch you be booed, and to watch you to break down, and to watch you cry, and to watch people ha 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 to jeer at you. Now they're in the same amphitheater, and they're being yanked to be placed in the front here, and they can't handle it because the fantasy that they know it as such or is over. Their bubble has been popped. Let me do that again. Their bubble has been popped. Very aggressively. Very aggressively. I'm not taking the fall for you. Yeah, you are, karmic. You will. You're going to take the fall. Your friends and families and your illicit activities that you try to do towards the collective here, yeah, you're going to take the fall, and you go fall very, very, very hard. Very hard. No brakes. All gas. That's what happens when they don't have a blueprint to follow. They were just following blindly. And hey, that's okay. They can do whatever they want to do. But hey, look what happens when people who don't have the vision to see or refuses to see things for what it is, not pop. Thank you, Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm when TikTok sent me a bubblegum gift. So thank you. They don't have the correct vision to get out of this. Their vision has been blinded, or they feel blinded by their vision. They feel like no matter how many times, this is metaphorically, figuratively speaking, no matter how many times they keep wiping their eyes, it's like they can't really get that focal point or like a clear point as to how to get out of this or how to escape this here. So their vision is very blurred or is very limited. And this is your justice or just desserts. Hello, hey. Yeah, they're scared out their mind. Moon is here. Could be a mother figure, however it resonates, or family dynamic here. They're telling people that the things that you are saying is not true. Okay, well, if it's not true, then why is it playing out to be true then if it's not true? Karmic. Let me break this down once again. They're telling other people, don't believe what the collective is saying. That's not true. That's not true. Okay. But the things that you are saying are all is actually connecting to the actions that are happening for them and to them. So clearly the things that you are saying is true. And people are watching it play out because of the things that you said to be true, for it to be true. They look like suckers. I ain't talking about lollipops. But they out here looking like a bunch of suckers, okay? Y'all remember that commercial with the owl, and he would have the lollipop, and they asked how many licks it takes to get to eat the candy, whatever, and he would probably lick it like 3 or 4 times. But no one knows like how long or how many bites it takes to actually get to that actual point of the, the end of the point here, that stem here. Tree is in reverse. There's no root. There's no abundance. There's no leaves. There's no life. Everything is barren. Tootsie Roll. Was it Tootsie Roll? Yes, Tootsie Roll had the lollipop, right? I believe so, right? Yes. They said that you're not healing, but it shows otherwise here, right? They put you through harsh situations, through sickly situations, and yet you were still able to heal yourself, meaning you went within self and you were connected to your source, divine, God, Jesus, universe, etc., etc. Those 2 ingredients were the top 2 ingredients that you needed to get out of this so-called nightmare or this sickness or this ailment here, if that makes sense here. So healing is in reverse. They said you wouldn't be able to heal yourself. You don't know anything about that, and you proved them wrong. But now that they're in the same predicament and situation here, they can't heal themselves. They can't get themselves out of this nightmare. They can't get themselves out of this situation. Freedom is in reverse. They lost control, which is the reason why they're exposing themselves. They lost control of the whole narrative, the situation, and the game, which is why they are exposing themselves. They're doing things, they're doing erratic things that they normally would not do, but more so in a public way or a public forum, however it resonates here. And they're trying every way possible to kind of keep that in the cut, or they're trying to act as normal as possible, but they're not normal individuals if we're able to break it down in that way. They don't know anything what it's like to be a normal person. And a normal person from this instance here will be someone that is mentally sound, if that makes sense. Someone that's not out there that's causing harm towards other people. Someone that see a person but don't try to cause or inflict some kind of harm onto them, if that makes sense. They're not a normal person. They're very they're the opposite. They're unhinged. They're unwell. They're mentally unwell. And their mental instability is being shown for everyone to see. Because it's like, yo, you really did that towards the collective? Well, why'd you do that? They don't have an answer. Why don't they have an answer? Why don't they have an answer? Because if they were to answer it in whatever way they see fit, it will still incriminalize what they have done towards you. Checkmate. Checkmate. They betrayed themselves. Yes, they did. They fell on their own sword. Yes, they did. They fell on their own sword because this sword was behind their back. And they coming up towards you and walking up towards you and inching up towards you here. And you saw them and you spooked the hell out of them with your truth. So it started them. But remember, the sword is behind their back. They can't show you that they have a sword behind their back. So eventually they're going to keep walking backwards. They ain't watching where they're going, but they're trying to regress and retrace their steps with the sword in their back here. And eventually, because they're not paying attention to what's behind them, they trip and fall. And what do they trip and fall on? Talk to me, collective. Huh? What do they trip and fall on? It's in their back. I didn't do that to you. I never did that to you. You're delusional. You don't know what you're talking about. There's a whole bunch of foolishness that coming through their mouth. But when they finally get up from the sword that juked them in their back or stabbed them in their back, you're looking at them and like, wow, your shirt is wet. Why is your shirt wet? Oh, I don't know. What are you talking about? You no, ain't nothing wrong with me, but your shirt is wet, bruh or sis. Their shirt is wet. They don't want you to see what's happening to them behind their back. They want to consistently position themselves behind your back so that way you can never see it coming. But yet their shirt is wet and yet you can still see the infliction that they cause upon themselves. Checkmate. Now we break this down. Break it down. Since they want to be fast and furious, right? And because this is metaphorically and figuratively speaking, I want to make that clear. Since they're, they have that cut, or they inflicted that cut or that wound behind their back here, everyone else is seeing the drips, metaphorically and figuratively speaking. Everyone is seeing the cut that they created for themselves, and they're trying to find a way to bandage themselves up. But with trying to bandage themselves up, people are going to have questions. How did I get there? What happened to your back? Why are you bleeding? Why are you this? Why are you that? Oh, I don't know. Like they're malfunctioning. That's how they sound. That's how they look and that's how they sound. They don't have an answer for why they did what they did because they never were prepared to answer for what they did. Does that make sense? They weren't prepared to answer for what they've done. So now they're in a heap of a shit or a heap of watery elephant shit. And they're trying to get out of that space. They're trying to cover the cuts that they created for themselves, figuratively, metaphorically speaking. They're trying to bandage themselves. Oh no, I don't need no help. I don't need no help. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. But you see the evidence, the steps that they take. Now it's on their foot, metaphorically and figuratively speaking. Now the drips of the cut that they inflicted on themselves is now at the bottom of their foot or feet. And every step they take is evidence, if that makes sense, from their own doings, their own evil doings. So they're going to take themselves out the game. Game over. Okay? And everyone's seeing that. Their body is riddled with guilt. Sick like a dog. Loss. It blew up in their face. They can't handle the attention that they're receiving, but yet they called upon the attention, yet they were seeking the attention. You got to be careful what you ask for. If you're asking for attention, what kind of attention are you asking for? Be very specific. And we all know when it comes to them, they're not specific in anything that they do. Anything. I just want attention. I just want all of it. You sure you want that? Yeah, I can handle it. Okay. Well, their wish is their command, and they got every part of attention that they ever wanted, and some attention that they received was like, whoa, oh no, I don't want that type of attention. But you weren't specific, karmic. You weren't detailed in what you wanted, karmic. So your wish is your command. You got all the attention that you ever wanted. Now you can't handle it? Come on, man. Somebody's making Pillsbury biscuits or cinnamon rolls, or you like cinnamon rolls, or you may be making it from scratch. I just see the you know, the thing that you turn and it pops, that whatever it's called, in the can. That's what I see. Something about Pillsbury, okay? Someone's name is Tennyson, Tennison. You could be from Tennessee. Or you may love blues or country music. Or bluegrass music. And they are shocked. They are shocked that they can't trick anyone, because yet again, all of the evidence is on them. Now they're trying to scrub away, or they're trying to clean away the overwhelming evidence that they have created or compiled towards and against themselves. And they can't. How are they going to get themselves out of the situation? They're being forced. There's no more, oh, we think you should take accountability. No, there's no more chances or options for them to have. It's just what it is. They're being forced to take accountability. They're being forced to accept for what they have done towards you and other people here. And they can't shake that. They can't handle that. Somebody could be watching Gordon Ramsay, or you may like Gordon Ramsay. I like when he say bullocks. Yeah, I like when you say that. This could have been a karmic connection or relationship here. Okay? Are you making your Pillsbury cake? Okay, I see you. I see you, boo. Now, they got a lot of regret. They wished that they could have respected you, or they wish that they wish that they would have respected you much more or more. If that makes sense. Somebody's listening to The Sound of Music, or you could be watching that movie, Sound of Music. Someone's watching 101 Dalmatians. Or that's your favorite movie. I'm also seeing The Rescuers Down Under. Remember the movie called The Rescuers Down Under? I want to say it was based in Australia, but it was a cartoon-based movie. And Penny, I believe Penny ran away or was taken away. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I believe she was being abused by her uncle or father or grandfather. It was a masculine energy. And I think she ran away or something. And there were like two mice that had like this whole organization that was like helping to save children or something of that nature. And they had like a bird, like an albatross bird. That could be your favorite bird. But they had that albatross bird that were trying to get Penny to safety, or I think they were trying to find Penny or something of that nature here. I say all that to say there are going to be some children that's going to be saved from this, okay? So they're going to need healing, though. Yeah, they're going to need a lot of healing, a lot of intensive healing, and a lot of like psychological therapy and things of that nature, but they're going to be okay, okay? Somebody could be 26. You could be listening to the group called 26, Day 26, which is by, I think they were under like Puff Daddy. But there was a group called Day 26. That could be your favorite group, or you just love songs from them. I'm also hearing Danity Kane as well, too. I'm also hearing the Spice Girls as well, okay? So I'm seeing the Mickey Mouse Club. I'm seeing Justin Timberlake, and I also see Christina Aguilera. So maybe you were around that era when they were growing up on the Mickey Mouse Club, but I see specifically Christina Aguilera and Justin Timberlake. So maybe you were watching the Mickey Mouse Club from back in the 80s or 90s or so. I think they were on there from the 80s. I could be wrong, but correct me. And this is what they fear here. They fear for things to be more so shifted in your favor here, but it's really nothing that they can do, because yet again, their shirt is wet. The evidence is on them. And everyone can see clear as day that something is off with this person here. And the people that see the toxic social connections that they hired to come up against you here are seeing that something is off with this person, and they still want some form of retaliation surrounding this person here. It's a catalyst. It's a domino effect. So the person that started the foolishness is in the middle, and they had people, players that's surrounding them there. They're now affected. Go outside of those individuals. Now it's starting to spread out. They're also affected. And it just keep metastasizing bigger and bigger and bigger to now you can see this big explosion that's happening for everyone that who thought it was funny to heckle you and to laugh at you and to try to, kick you off your good path and things of that nature. Yes, thank you. Bernard and Bianca was the name of the mouse. Thank you. Yes, thank you. It's been a while. And this is what they fear. They fear that people won't respect them. People have lost respect for them. Hey, funeral director. Yeah, people have lost respect for them here. Okay. Emotional implosion. Their entire identity hinges on being in control. Let me repeat that. Their entire identity hinges on them being in control. And if you yank away their so-called identity, they don't have anything left. So then they're going to just spiral like Pac-Man. Y'all remember Pac-Man, right? For Pac-Man, you were supposed to eat the you were supposed to eat the circle things, right? And in some cases, the ghost would try to like corner Pac-Man. And when that happened, you will hear Pac-Man. That's dumb. They're being they're being haunted by their own ghosts. I put it in that way. They're ghosts from the past. So LaShonda says on YouTube, you sound proud. I'm proud of y'all. I don't care about no damn karmics. Y'all know how I feel about the collective because I'm part of the collective. So I'll answer your question. Yes, I am proud of y'all. This was not an easy thing to get through, especially when a lot of people were coming up against you and you didn't do anything to these individuals. This is why I always give y'all flowers for the ones that are doing the work, because you are worthy of what you are putting, what you're putting into yourself. This is why I give y'all flowers every day. So am I proud of y'all? Yeah, I'm proud of y'all. Because now more people are now being able to see and recognize the harsh signs, surrounding narcissism. Many people enabled it because many people thought that it was supposed to be a normal thing. This is not normal in regards to their behavior. This is not normal in regards to them trying to stop you from moving forward or trying to obstruct your path. That's not normal. It's not. And because of you speaking your story or you just standing in your authentic truth here, people are now seeing, they're able to see what's true and what's not. And they're realizing that they are not truthful at all. I'm just saying. So we have reproach here. Okay. I mean, forgiveness is in reverse. They want you to extend, they want you to forgive them so they can continue this. That's what forgiveness is. Can you forgive me? Can you forgive me? What are you forgiving them for? So they can come back in and do the same thing, but just ramp it up even more. Now that you are aware of what they're doing and they're now exposed, they feel that they are justified to cause some form of retaliation towards you. Why? For what reason? Because you see them for the filth that they are? Come on. How dare you see me in my dark nature? Okay. How dare you call me out? Okay. Well, take my forgiveness and let me come in. And now they're trying to push themselves back into your world, into your reality here because they feel like that they can. They cannot. They just can't, boo. They like Pac-Man out here, okay? Shoot. They're a pawn in their own game. The same tactics that they use to control others now starts to backfire back onto them. And they can't handle that. They can't handle their own lies. Wow. Okay. They can't handle their own manipulation. Wow. Okay. They can't handle their own illusions. Well, then why create something that you can't handle? That's what I'm saying. My goodness. Oh, what's going on? Oh, who is that girl? Just delete that trash, girl. Child, ain't nobody worry about you. You mad? You on my space? Listen. I love when people be typing and texting and stuff. They be so agitated, and you just click block them. Man, that puts. Oh, I love it. So you stay over there on the opposite side of the block button, boo. We don't care, LaShonda. Okay. Moving forward, we have concern here. I don't know how. Anywho, the concern here is that you're not going to forgive them. The concern here is that you see them as the false person here. Oh, well. Oh, well. They the one that showed their hand. As I mentioned before, a person that's very guilty, they don't know how to stay still. And the reason being because guilt makes them tilt. So they're going to do everything possible to ensure that other people are not aware that they're guilty. They're going to be fidgety. They're going to do certain things. And you'll be like, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. They give different, examples or proof or signs that they're guilty because they can't stay still. So they basically, they're the one that's pulling the trigger for other people to see them for who they are. They are, not you. Because sometimes half the time at the time that you were involved or connected with this, you weren't aware. But because they kept trying to prove something, they were, to be honest here, they were trying to prove them being guilty in so many words. Yes, they gave themselves away through their guilt. That's exactly what they did. Coughing. Despair. It's the end. It's the 100% end. They knew it. That's why they did it. They knew exactly what they were doing, which calls for them to become very intentional surrounding the things that they have done here. So they're in despair because the community is like, oh, wow, dang, Did you hear what the karmic did? Did you hear what such and such did towards the collective? Everybody's shoo-shooing and hush, 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 and they talking and they doing, thank you. They're doing, there's a lot of gossip surrounding the community here. Good. Leave people alone. The same tight-knit community of people that came together and what's the word? They were joyful of your downfall here. Those same people ain't nowhere to be found. Those same individuals now want to argue and fight and all different types of things, okay? Oh, okay. All right. Hold on now. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay, I unhide you. Okay. All right. Well, I stand corrected. I apologize. I could take accountability. Okay, no problem. So LaShonda's okay. She came over to Instagram to explain. So okay. All right now. She said she was talking about somebody in the comments. All right. So you are unblocked. Okay. All right. So we have message of concern. Okay. Okay, no problem. We got it squared. We got it all straightened out. So that's the most important thing. All right. So with that being said, this spirit message of concern, like I mentioned before, going back to that knife here, they brought a knife to a fight, but they were the only one with the tool or resource, and they didn't want you to be aware that they had this sword behind their back. But they're coming up towards you, hey sis, or hey bro, or hey whatever, how you doing? Da, 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 da. And the moment that you turn your head, or the moment that you turn your back, that they were going to push this or inflict this onto you, and it didn't work that way, because despite it being in their back here, and you realizing that something off with them, why you got your hand behind your back? Oh, no reason. Oh, well, why you acting like that? Well. You okay? So the moment that they wanted to strike you with this sword here, you saw the glistening or the light or the reflection of the sword here. You was like, oh no. And you said whatever you need to say truthfully, authentically. It got them scared. So now they're walking back and they're reversing back. And you're like, why are you walking backwards? They don't have a reason. They don't have an answer, if that makes sense. So they keep walking back, and they finally stumble on a piece of rock that they never saw in the path that they created, and they fall on their own sword. So to be honest here, they took away from themselves. They did. Who is it, LaShonda? They said they're afraid of you. Or no, they said that they're not afraid of you, but yet they're bringing a sword to a fight, and you're not aware that this was even a fight to begin with. They say they're not afraid of you, but they got a whole heap of people, a group of people here. Okay. They had a whole group of people here that they congregated together to make themselves look bigger than what they were or are. So are they afraid of you, or are they not afraid of you? Because why would they need a sword to come to this so-called one-sided fight if you're not even aware that it was a fight to begin with? That makes sense? Somebody got some explaining to do. It could have been a lover. Take it how it resonates. A lover that was very unhinged, didn't want to see you moving forward. Again, take it how it resonates. Some people, when you're in a connection here and you're doing better off than them, or you're more successful than them within the connection here, they get very jealous. Sometimes you could be sleeping with the enemy and you're not even aware that you're sleeping with the enemy, if that makes sense here. It could be a mother figure, a mature woman, a grandmother, however it resonates for you, okay? But some of y'all were sleeping with the enemy and you weren't even aware. I'll even add me in that. Yeah, I were too, and I didn't know. Yeah, the person that you laying next to every day or every night, whatever, and you not thinking that they have any bad intentions towards you. And then when things start to shift and you're able to see it from a different perspective, you're like, wow, you really don't like me? You really this, you really that? Yeah. And they got caught up in their own game. They did. Message. Message like oh, what's the name of that movie? South Central with the Wayne brothers. Don't be drinking juice in the hood. Something like that. It's a long title, child. And his brother Keenan was the mailman. And anytime there was something like a profound message, he would come out. He'd be like, message. Yeah. He would come out and be like, message. So now they want to hold a grudge against you, which they can't. Well, it's your fault. It's the collector's fault. No, it's not. Well, can you explain how it's the collector's fault? Well, it just is. That's not a good reason as to why it's the collector's fault. You need to be able to have substantial facts and evidence and receipts to clarify why you feel, karmic, that it's okay to hold a grudge towards the collective when the collective didn't do anything towards you. Karmic. Well, if they don't need a reason to do what they're doing, then you don't need a reason to speak the truth either. You can speak the truth if you want to. You can walk in your authenticity if you want to. And that's why they feel so rejected by you. That sounds like a them problem, not a you problem. That's a them problem. And you have photo proof of it. You do. Not only that, you unbothered. Some of y'all coming up on a trip, or you're going on a cruise, or you could be going to a different country. Take a how it resonates. You're going to have an amazing time. Unfazed. You're so unfazed by this. So unfazed. What do you mean you're not paying attention? What do you mean? Downward spiral. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those pesky kids. They sound like Scooby-Doo and this man MF. They sure is. They're broke as well too. They're trying to move right now. Okay, but with what money and what resources here? They exhausted their resources to watch you, to watch your life, to watch your every move, every nook and cranny of your life. They completely destroyed their life. They did. Which is how they became the pawn in their own game. They don't remember their moves, putting it that way. Oh, I don't remember taking this step. I don't remember taking this move, but all the evidence is on the board that they created. Using the eraser as an analogy here, if you keep erasing something over and over and over, eventually the remnants from the eraser is going to be exposed, or you're going to see that someone has taken a pencil to alter or shift something on the paper. There's going to be evidence left behind, always. They didn't know that though. Well, that's a them issue. That's not a you issue, collective. That's a them issue. We have romantic love affair. That's a them issue. Bad habits here. Child services. Child services are going to be involved in this, and you can pursue child services, and you can sue them. Yep, you can go to litigation and you can sue them for child service. Yes, you can. If you're disconnected from a child at this time, you can. They told child services that you were heavily inebriated with certain type of things, okay, illicit things. Y'all gonna have to take that how that resonate. Basically try to make you look like a bad parent. For the ones that do resonate with this here, they spiked your food or drink to get you hooked onto something. So that way when it was time for them to showcase this towards child services here, that they thought they would have it in the bag here, but there's evidence surrounding that as well too. Oh yeah, it's a big pile of elephant watery shit, I'm telling you. They traveled far and wide, to and fro. Yes, they did. They sure did. And there's evidence surrounding that. There's a paper trail, either paper trail or digital footprint in regards to what they have done towards you here. It's too much evidence. How you going to erase something that's digital? I mean, I'm not into IT. I don't know anything about IT. Maybe you can. I don't know. Okay? I don't. From my perspective here, I think it'll be pretty hard for that to happen because let's say you post a picture and you only post it for like 2 or 3 seconds. Despite you just posting for 2 or 3 seconds, somebody already screenshot that. And when you think you erased it and weeks, months, years go by, you be like, wait, how do you get that picture? As soon as I put that on there, I took that down. Oh, well, you got to be quicker than that in that kind of way. And this is more so despite them not posting online. Like posting what they're doing towards you. Of course, they're not going to do that. But still, there's enough evidence, overwhelming damning evidence in regards to how malicious and harsh that they were towards you here. And they can't stomach that. Well, don't do it. Return to sender backfired on them. So they're sending out negative projections onto you. You returned it back to them. And they're trying to return their energy back to you. No, their energy is their energy. So they have to sit and play hot potato with their energy. Once you send it back, it goes back to the originator as to where it was created. They don't understand that. So they think that they can play hot potato with their energy towards you or with you here. So no, I don't want this energy. You take it. No, it's not yours. Send it back. The hell? Yeah, they are their own worst enemy. They are. Yeah, they want to ping pong off of you. No, don't let nobody do that to you. They constantly convince people that they are this and that. And they're not any of the things in regards to what they are. They're not. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. I'm real. Well, if you're so real, you don't have to say that you're real. It's going to show. Not so. Your energy is always going to speak for you before you enter a room. In most cases, you don't even have to say anything in regards to who you are. Just allow it to be shown authentically. Oh, yeah, they're a real one. Yeah, look at them. Your actions are always going to match up with the words that you speak. So you don't have to keep saying, oh, I'm real, and I'm this and that. Really? So the ones that keep always so boisterous and very loud and very cantankerous with their energy here, they're always quick to kind of put some kind of illusion or block towards other people so that way people can't see past it. And I always question people that are very loud with that they're real, because they're not real. Thank you, boo. They're not. They're not real at all. My brass teeth ex-boyfriend used to say that foolishness all the time. I'm in tune with my star player. I'm real. And he's from the South, so he had that really strong drawl. And sometimes when you say certain things, it just made my whole body just kind of like my pores were raised, or what you guys would say would be like the hair would stand up on your arms. We say pores. West Indians. I know I have a few West Indians here, but yeah, like our pores raised, but every time he would say something and I knew that he lying, and he had a gold tooth in his mouth too. I'm sorry. That's just, yeah. Anywho, I just didn't trust that brass teeth fucker. I did not. I didn't. And he would just watch me and just look me in my face and just dead lie in my face. And I can't stand a liar. If you're going to lie, stay away from me. I don't care how small the lie is. Stay away from me. I don't know parts of that. The person hating on you has narcissistic behavior. Causing you to miss out on a lot of opportunities. Somebody's eating pizza, but it may have olives on the pizza, or you love olives, so you may actually just make an olive pizza because I'm smelling olives. Get a dream catcher to hang over your bed. So basically protect yourself as you sleep, okay? I'm not going to go into too much detail surrounding that because not everybody has good intentions over here. So I can't show you that, or I can't speak about that publicly as to how to protect yourself while you're sleeping. Yeah, just not on the public forum because everybody don't have good intentions, and I'm not helping no karmic to protect themselves from the things that they have done. No, I'm just not. So we have Six of Swords here. You're moving away from the trauma. And the more you move away, the more it's like you're sailing away to calmer waters, and you're looking back and you're just seeing everything just kind of like fall and collapse as you're moving away slowly from it. Yep. They are traumatized by their own sword. Ain't that something? They traumatized by their own sword. 10 of Wands here. Yeah. They're in a heap of a mess. All the swords that they have taken from other people, because this is how they were able to create, I'm just speaking from metaphorically, figuratively speaking, they were able to successfully get other people, around people, to come up against you, right? Initially. And those individuals had their own sort of, we'll say, tools or resources or weapons to kind of weaponize you or try to destroy you in that way, right? And they were able to collect all of these sticks and stones and swords, things of that nature, so they can come together. So that way they will have much more access to different types of tools and resources here to utilize against you here. And the same swords and the same sticks and stones that they use here, it has fell to the side. It doesn't work. It's not, what's the word? It's broken. It's not salvageable. The creation of these sticks and stones and swords weren't sturdy enough. It wasn't strong enough to beat you. More so dull, if that makes sense. Like the swords that they used to come up against you, figuratively speaking here, were very dull. They were trying to pierce through you energetically, physically, emotionally, financially, psychologically here, and it didn't work out in that way. So they're like, well, wait, what's happening? Why can I use this sword on the collective? So when they turned around and they used their own sword, it affected them, not you. That sword was made specifically for them and their crew, not yours or not you. With Magician here. Y'all ever seen the movie, is it Minecraft? With Jack Black? I think it was like last summer or so. There's another lady in there, I can't think of her name. Jack Black was in it, and Moana, or Jason Momoa, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was also in it, and they ended up going into a whole different reality or a whole different world. And the little guy or the teenager was actually creating different types of like tools here to beat like the enemies here. They fell on their own swords, all I can say. Jason Momoa, thank you. Thank you. So now they're in the Five of Pentacles, no money, in despair, crying, outside. They're outside the club. They can't get in the club. They outside the club. They're not dressed appropriately to be where you are. If that makes sense here. So they lost everything. Eight of Swords, they feel trapped. Yep, you see all them swords? See how they created them swords? They're surrounded by their own swords. They're the one that got themselves tangled in their own foolishness here. I mean, sad. And while they're stuck amongst their own swords here, other people are coming towards them with the Five of Wands. And you told me, and you said it, you yeah. Now they're stuck, and other people are coming with their swords and their sticks here, and they're wanting to fight, and they can't handle that, which is why they feel blindsided or they feel blindfolded by the events, by the turn of events of what's happening here. And I'm gonna stop right there. We got Pisces. We have Libra. We have Gemini. You could be or they could be. Take out resonates. Aquarius. Scorpio. Leo. Libra. Okay? So if that resonates, please like. Yes. Brian Burks says on TikTok, self-inflicted problems are the worst. Yes. And everything that they have done has been inflicted back onto themselves. They're the only ones to blame for themselves. Not you, them. They are. So if that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to grab a copy of this book. It's called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. This is a book or shadow book that helps to heal you from the many different aspects and situations in regards to the experiences that you may have experienced surrounding narcissism here. It is a really, really great book. Honestly, I am a deep thinker when it comes to things of this nature here, and I love to write as well too. So I'm always putting things in a different perspective here to help others to see that there are other different ways that you can do something, if that makes sense here. You are worthy of your healing. You're worthy of being the best person or version of self that you decide to be. You're worthy to live a healthy life. You're worthy of living very happily. You're worthy of laughing. You are worthy of whatever positive something that you decide to put place in yourself here. Okay. So again, if you want to be on the podcast, reach out, click on the link that I have been posting all over my social media outlets. I started going back into the emails and going through it as well. If you want to get into the Wisdom Beyond Wounds group that is on Facebook. And yeah, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do that as well too. I love you guys. Go out there and be freaking great, because that's what you're here for. You're here to shine. You're here to elevate, and you're here to soar and be successful. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you so much for the gifts. I will see you on the next one. Bye, TikTok. Bye, Instagram and Facebook. Mwah. See you.